So I got this call from my friend, and he was telling me that he got a raise and he makes a lot more money than he used to on the job. But since he's gotten a raise, his boss has cut his hours at work. So he pretty much makes the same amount of money, but he works less hours. But his check is the same, you know. And he was telling me this like it was a bad thing, or like this was the end of the world. And you know, I listened to him and I let him talk. But after he got through talking, I had to explain to him that, you know, time is more valuable than any money that you could get from anybody. If you are working for a raise and a raise only and not more time, you're working backwards. If you're working a regular 9-to-5 job, not something that you love to do, not something that is just like your passion, but something that you're doing to pay bills, your objective should be to work yourself out of a job. And the only way you can work yourself out of a job is if you are working for your time back. You can always make more money. You can't make more time. I worked in a butcher shop, you know, and I hated it. You know, it was 8, 9, 10 hours, sometimes 12, 13 hours inside of a refrigerator all day cutting meat. Your hands would be like claws afterwards because they would just be frozen to the bone every day. And I did that. And when I first started working in the butcher shop, I was making $7.50 an hour. $7.50. I don't even know if that's even legal to pay anybody anymore. $7.50. And I worked that job for years, and I got a little raise here, little raise here, little raise here, little raise here. It didn't make much of a difference. Because it seems like the more money you make, especially, I mean, if you're watching this and you live in America, you understand what I'm talking about. The more money you make, the more they're going to tax you. So you're taking baby steps, you know. But I read this book called the 80-20 Principle, and that book really changed my life, you know. And once I started reframing the way I thought about money and the way I thought about working in businesses around the 80-20 principle, I realized that working for raises was just the dumbest thing ever. So what I started doing was strategizing on how to work for my time. I got raise after raise after raise after raise, and I was making the most I could make. I went from $7 to $14, you know. And doing the butcher shop. Shit, I hated the job. So once I got to $14, I realized I was at the ceiling when it comes to the pay raises. They weren't going to give me any more raises. No, it was just not going to happen. I was making more than everybody in there. So from there, I had to figure out how to not just get a raise, but get enough of a substantial bump in pay to where I could go from working 5 and 6 days a week to 3 and 4 days a week. And the only way to do this was to change job titles and change job positions, which I eventually did. I changed from a butcher to a CDL truck driver, which is a completely different field. Sometimes you have to just go completely left in order to get your time back, but this is what I had to do. So when I started doing the truck driving job for the same company, they were paying me twice as much as what I was making in the butcher shop, if you can add that up, whatever. They're paying me twice as much, and everyone thought, my managers included, bosses, supervisors, all the way up, they thought that I was going to work the same amount of time now that I got this raise. No, you're incorrect. The entire reason I got the raise is so I could get the same check and work less time. So instead of me working 5 and 6 days a week, because I was working 5, most of the time 6 days a week in the butcher shop. Instead of doing that, what I did was I started working 3 days a week. 3 days a week driving trucks, getting my same check, paying my same bills, and then I had 4 free days for the rest of the week to do whatever I wanted to do. And in those 4 days, I could pursue other business ventures. I could hang out with my family. I can go party all 4 days if I want to. I could do whatever I want in 4 days. And that is living life. This is how you live life. You can't live life if you're valuing money over time. Time is the prize, not money. So once I explained this to my friend, he kind of got it, but I don't think he really got it. But I try to lead my life by example, so I do things with my free time to show people, like, this is what you could do with your free time. if you had it, if you prioritize your free time over your check. And this is the main lesson of what I'm trying to tell you people is always prioritize your time over money. If your boss offers you a raise, make sure that raise does not come with the sacrifice of your free time. If you get a raise, you should, on top of that raise, you should factor in, okay, how much more time is this gonna cost me, or am I gonna be awarded back? Always think about that. If your boss says, okay, we're gonna put you in another position, first thing you should think about is, how much time is this gonna cost me? Not money, how much time is this gonna cost me in exchange for money? The ultimate goal in life is to not have to exchange any of your time for money. Zero time for money. Meaning, what does that mean? That means you get a check no matter if you go to work or not. Which is where I'm trying to be. I still have to work, but I don't have to work as much. But your ultimate goal in life should be a check with zero work or minimum work. And if you're doing any kind of work in life, it has to be something that you are passionate about and that you love, something that you would do for free. If it's not, you need to be working your way down the time ladder. I'm Mack the Motivator Man. That was my message for today. I'm out.